Hi, this demonstration is going to focus on our prompt builder. A lot of teachers don't feel comfortable building prompts. After all, they're hard to do, they're hard to write. Oftentimes, we don't know how to match up exactly the questions to fit the standards and to fit our purpose. Writing prompts also take a lot of time. A lot of wordsmithing goes on, lots of things to consider and think about. Is it clear for students? Is the vocabulary correct? Is what I'm asking truly aligned to standards? All of these questions haunt us as teachers. It doesn't matter what content you teach, we all have prompts. In math, there are prompts, in science and history, in the English classroom, we all have our prompts. And students need to learn how to break these prompts down. They need to learn how to analyze them. And we need to put them in front of students, present them to students as often as possible. Well, if we need to create more prompts for students, then we need some help creating them. We don't have a ton of time to always make new prompts. So we made you the prompt builder. In your LTA toolkit, you can get there by clicking on Prompt Builder, or if you click down in the tools, it's right here, Prompt Builder. We'll start in this section. Now, when you arrive at the Prompt Builder page, you'll notice that you're still in the LTA toolkit, and you have all your familiar tools listed in the sub-navigation. There's a video that you can watch in addition to this one that gives you a little bit more detail about how to use this Prompt Builder. But as you scroll down the page, you'll notice right away that you can't touch anything on the left side. It is all blanked out. And our online coach, Coach Natalie, is going to guide you through answering some questions so we can get exactly the types of prompts that you're looking for. See, if we just had an open text box and allowed you to type, then I don't think you're in any better place than you were when we first started. How do I start? Where do I start? What do I say? What types of questions should I ask? Well, Natalie's going to walk you through a process that's going to help you create a prompt that's so close to what you need, you're going to feel like it's just about perfect. So you're going to click a grade level band. These are much larger than our skill library tabs where we have them broken out K1, 2, 3, and so on. These are much larger, elementary, middle, and high. I'm going to click on middle and high, and then I need to make a decision. Do I want to ask a question about a fictional text, or do I want to make write a question about nonfiction? I'm going to click nonfiction, and now I have some more questions to think about. Do I want my students focusing on a reading standard, a speaking standard, and a writing standard? I'm going to take a minute to explain here that even though we're talking about prompts, the standards ask our students to think about our text in lots of different ways and then do something with the text. So just because it's a reading standard doesn't mean that the only thing that they're going to be doing is reading. Oftentimes, the reading standard has a speaking or writing component attached. So if there's something they have to do with the reading, then I need a prompt, well, to prompt it. I need to ask a question that will get students to do something. Same is true as speaking. The speaking standards aren't about just listening to someone speak, although those standards exist. They also ask students to speak about what they've read, or talk about what has been spoken, or write about a speech that's been delivered. All of those tasks require some sort of prompt, some sort of directive to let the students know what to do. And then, of course, writing. This one's a little bit simpler because we always equate prompts with writing. Oh, there's a prompt. That means we have to write something. So we have a prompt builder that can allow you to develop a task that focuses on a very specific standard. So and I know that my students are struggling with relationships in a text, tracing relationships, cause and effect, or process, or even character development. I can go into reading and I can choose either R3 or R5. Now, R3 is going to give me these different templates that I can use to start my prompt. Now, here's what's great. You have all these options. Well, if you're not reading something that has a problem and solution, then don't choose a problem solution template. But I am reading something that has a process and I know my students need work on R3. So I'm going to click on Summarizing a Process. So Summarizing a Process template fills in on the left. This is awesome. Now all I need to do is complete the lines and maybe make a few adjustments to a couple of the words, wordsmith just a little bit, but the majority of the work is done. Summarize precisely the multi-step procedure when carrying out blank. Oh, well, I'm not having a procedure. There's something else that is going on in my text. Okay, well, maybe this prompt doesn't work for you. Maybe another prompt will work better. So go ahead and click another template to see what that offers. What problem does? Well, I'm not reading a problem solution. Okay, then you don't need to click that template either. Maybe it's a cause and effect. Write an essay or speech to blank in which you examine the causes behind. Oh, okay, that's a little bit better because the text I'm reading, although there's a process, there's some causes behind that process. So now I can change things and this is the prompt that I want. But I don't want them to write an essay necessarily. I want them to discuss, or I want them to maybe write a paragraph. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out and say, write the paragraph. Now I have complete control of my prompt and I have language to start. I don't have to start from the beginning. I now have the words to get me started and get me aligned to the types of questions I need to ask my students. Now, if I am in the middle of this and say, I want to take a look at what R5 says, and I click on R5, I'm going to get another set of templates. Now, if I click on Summarize Main Ideas, Natalie's going to interrupt me. And she's going to ask me, are you sure you want to move on from here? Because if you move on, I'm going to erase the work that you've already done. You can say yes, you can say no. If you say no because you like what you've done, you can copy it and then paste it into a new template. Or you can just say yes and she'll erase it for you and you'll start over with a new prompt. We have over 160 prompts in this prompt builder. And they're organized by reading, speaking, and writing, fiction or nonfiction, middle, high, or elementary. It's going to take you some time to learn where some of these prompts exist as you learn yourself the standards. But as you learn the standards and as you focus on targeting specific skills and standards for students, this prompt builder is going to be a time saver. It's going to be a critical piece to developing your curriculum because it gives you that language and it gives you that focus. Let me just prove one more point. Let's say I'm going to go back to argument and we're reading argument, and I know that that's R8. Right away, I'm teaching argument. I want my students writing about argument or talking about argument. I clicked on R8 and look at all of these templates for argument. We know that oftentimes in an argument, there's a problem and a solution. That's why you're seeing a lot of these templates with problem and solution. And we know that the language like evidence and claims will be a part of that discussion. If you click on one of the templates, you're going to see that this is focused on argumentation. Write a brief paper in which you analyze, and you can change any of this. Blank's argument, account for the author's claims, and state the purpose of the text. You can wordsmith. I don't want to teach my kids account yet. I think it's too difficult at this point. Then you can just say summarize. And then you're going to have to change the sentence a little bit, but just get rid of the word for. And now it says summarize the author's claims. And off you go. This is our prompt builder. You can use it to create tasks for your students that are for speaking or writing. Use it to create purpose-driven reading. You can use it in your research papers. It's pretty much endless how you can use this, but I'll tell you what it will do. It will save you time, reduce stress, and get you and your team to build prompts at a much faster rate that are directly aligned to standards. Why don't you take some time to explore this, try it out for yourself.